What's up, y'all boys? I put it in the reaction video on YouTube, reaction to the destruction of Juice WRLD Legacy. Now, you know me, you know Juice WRLD, really one of my favorite artists. King, he definitely top. He up there. Top three is him, Young Boy, and maybe Raw Wave. No, Michael Jackson. I ain't gonna lie, Michael Jackson of the game. I ain't gonna lie, Michael Jackson, nah, boy. Or Annalie Chopper. Niggas be sleeping on Annalie and Lil Mosey, but it's a lot of good artists out there. But them just my. For me, we finna get into the video, the destruction of Juice WRLD Legacy. Y'all watch this video.
It was Juice WRLD who told us all legends fall in the making, and tragically, that was the case for him too. Now 5 years on from his premature passing, he remains one of the most popular artists in the world. Even today, Juice WRLD is still dominating the streaming platforms, with his tracks averaging an astonishing 212 million streams sold, a number unmatched by anyone in hip-hop. However, most of his fans believe that the public's continued love for him is only because of the impact he left on Earth while he was physically here. Because in their opinion, those in charge of keeping his spirit alive are closer to sabotaging it more than anything. In fact, many feel that those responsible for honoring Juice's legacy are doing the complete opposite by exploiting, mishandling, and tarnishing the very piece.
Hey, if you know that music video, you know that music video. And I burn, 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 burn. Bro, niggas don't know
Of
about
art that he left behind. And when you consider how drastically the quality and the reception of his posthumous releases have declined over time, it's easy to see why for so many fans, the latest efforts to artificially further his career feel like the final straw. It's your boy Luesta, and this is how Juice WRLD's legacy has been tarnished by his team. Back when Juice first
Oh my god.
Back when Juice first passed on that fateful night in Chicago's Midway Airport, everyone immediately
December 8th, 2019, by the way. So I ain't no ordinary fan. Chicago Midway Airport at around, it was in the morning. I know that. It was in the morning. Somewhere between 12 and I think. It was in the morning.
hoped that Grade A Productions, the label that has been overseeing his career from the outset, would try with their best abilities to respectfully handle this overwhelming loss. And why wouldn't they? Because the company, which is ran by the former rapper turned industry titan Lil Bibby, his brother G Money, and Peter Gideonwo, had
I don't know how bad I want that Juice WRLD hoodie, bro. That spotted hoodie, that shit hard.
always guided Juice's career. And if you ask someone like Bibby, he always had Jared's best interests in mind. He even tried to protect him from himself when things got dark.
I guess, leading up, to the incident at the airport, that he was already checked into rehab. He was already scheduled to go.
But this is
all right.
This confidential, but yeah, he was we already had him signed up for rehab. He already agreed to go.
Yeah.
Cause that was like pulling teeth with him. Like I said, he was taking 1.5 pills, and like I thought that was crazy. You know what I'm saying, Vlad? Because all of my like Herb and all of them, they only taking 1 or a half. You know what I'm saying? So 1.5 compared to a half, I'm looking like, bro, what the fuck?
Okay.
He said, all right, I'll go, but I'm not stopping. Like,
Right.
I'll lower my dosage, but he said, I like doing it too much. Like, I ain't stopping.
Now, it's always easy to place the blame on other people, but truly, you really can't stop an addict from using unless they want to. Unfortunately, Juice was one of those people who didn't want any help, leading to his untimely passing just days after his 21st birthday. And as rumors of Juice leaving behind a treasure trove of music began to surface the internet, fans expected Bibby to pull off something special in celebration of their fallen hero.
Hey, if you know that boy love that move.
Which is exactly what happened when Legends Never Die dropped in 2020. It wasn't just the best-selling posthumous album of all time, but a rare case where it was pretty much universally praised for its faithfulness to the late artist's vision. And at that point, there was a lot of goodwill towards Grade A and Co. And a lot of that came down to the fact that they spoke as if they were treating Juice's work with extreme care. And in a 2022 interview with Forbes, Lil Bibby definitely made it seem that way. He left his fans with a ton of music. People just remember him for being a super nice and kind person. I knew him for 4 or 5 years. He was one of the nicest people I ever met. Baby would then go
Yeah,
on
he
to
do seem
elaborate
nice.
on
I
the
ain't gonna
careful
lie. He seem a little
deliberation
nice. I
involved
ain't
in
gonna lie.
releasing Juice's
He's like a
unreleased
nice
tracks.
person.
Considering factors such as what fans are feeling, how music has evolved over the years, and what Juice himself would have wanted. Then, there was the human element to it all. In interviews, Baby indicated that Juice wasn't just his artist, but someone he genuinely cared about. He even admitted that going back through his catalog to put the album together took a huge emotional toll on him.
He say this, but he only drop an album like once every fucking 2-3 years. Gang. When he first died, it's an album every year. After it's the album where he was in like with a water and back. He was surrounded by tentacles, fighting demons. It was no fighting demons with the pink one. What album is this? All right, no, we gotta find this out. Okay, hold on.
That was rough, man.
Yeah.
Cause I ain't hear those songs, Black. I didn't hear all those songs. I started hearing them after he passed. I'm like, dang, he was talking about, you know what I'm saying? I didn't know he was saying all that shit, man. Like, did you hear that shit?
Yeah.
He was saying, like, basically, like he wanted to, like he wanted to die, some shit, man. And that shit hit me, like, bro, I cried though, like listening to some of that shit.
Yeah.
As tough as it must have
He
been,
lying.
nobody could argue with the result. And for
I
Grade
cried.
A, it paid off big time, earning them the third
That's
most
what-
successful album in 2020. But while everyone was relatively happy with what they delivered on that occasion, the same can't be said for basically every move since then. Because whether it was driven by financial motives, frustration with the audience, or a fundamental understanding of what fans really wanted from Juice, things have taken a serious turn for the worse since Grade A's initial triumph.
Whoa.
What's that?
I just built a budgeting app in Base 44.
Guys, Nina just built.
In the wake of the release of their third and allegedly final posthumous Juice WRLD album, it's starting to look like the damage to the relationship between Grade A and those who love and treasure Juice is irreversible. Although it's not something that happened overnight, the dynamic between Grade A and Juice's fan base has really mutated into something far less loving and community-based over recent years. Instead, it now feels more like a transactional exchange between customer and salesman, leaving everyone involved unsatisfied. While it wasn't really one individual incident that sparked this, things really began to change when they started making some unethical business moves to support their protege, the Kid Laroi. In the wake of Juice's death, the Australian rapper and singer immediately began to become Grade A's top priority. And soon, they were holding Juice's music for ransom in an attempt to boost the sales of the Kid Laroi's project.
So when the album dropped, Legends Never Die, Baby said, get 100K on Kid Laroi's album and we'll drop the deluxe. Never dropped the deluxe.
Wait, Baby said if you get 100K on Kid
Or
Laroi,
50K or something. If
they'll
Kid
drop
Laroi
the
sells
deluxe
50K first
to-
week, they'll drop the deluxe to Legends Never Die.
to Juice and shit?
Yeah. So on Twitter, and he lied. He keeps promoting Kid Laroi. I just feel like he's trying to boost Kid Laroi with Juice's status.
Okay, I don't know if it's tasteful or just tasteless. I guess the fans would decide. Yeah, they are. Like the hell, like, you know what I mean? Hey, Juice isn't here anymore, and I think there's a respectful way to do it. I wouldn't say necessarily if you're lying to fans about putting out Juice WRLD's music and you're having them basically forcing them to go support the Kid Laroi. That's the best thing to do. But truth be told, I'm really trying to, I don't want to be disrespectful with this phrase, but one monkey don't stop a show. Like, Juice passed away. They running business over there. They're not about to be like, all right, let's keep crying and just put Juice's stuff out. They're trying to get the next horse to, again, it's business.
And it didn't help that by this point, the quality control of the Juice WRLD projects they were curating were beginning to decline. As when his second posthumous album, Fighting Demons, dropped, the response was vastly different than how Legends Never Die was received.
That's what it was. It was Fighting Demons. The pink one was Legends Never Die. What was even the conversation about? Why we brought that up? Stop distracting me, man.
I don't think I need to remind you guys of how many artists we've unfortunately lost over the past 5 years and how many mediocre and somewhat unfinished posthumous records have followed just maybe months later. But like I said, Legends was a sufficient display of Juice's style, his abilities, and the general themes that painted his lyricism. However, I'm not as hopeful for this second posthumous record to turn out as consistent, feeling a strong 4 to a light 5 on this one.
After such a careful and considered first attempt, it suddenly seemed like they were falling into the typical traps of a posthumous project, like forced features with artists Juice never even met while he was alive, such as Suga from BTS, for example.
Yo,
This
that
is the
song
second
did make me
posthumous-
mad, gang, cause I ain't gonna lie, bro, Juice part was hard, gang. He actually had the best part. and then they put it with the fucking K-pop dude again. Like, it ruined the song. 'Cause I don't even know what it's just saying, bro. But then as I grow older, I get to like it more. It grows on me. I ain't gonna lie. It's not that bad. I ain't gonna fake.
Album, and it's been less than 2 years he's passed away. And not only that, but we've gotten 2 deluxe versions of these albums, and nobody's asking for all this music. I mean, let the man rest. And the other thing too is, like, I'm very conflicted about this because I really do believe that the family, you know, deserves to reap the benefits of the artist's work, but maybe do that in the spirit of a greatest hits album instead. Because to me, I don't care, you know, if it's the brother, the sister, the mother, the girlfriend of the artist is, but you don't know. You shouldn't have that creative decision to know if the artist would have put out that song or that album or that body of work.
On top of that, the rollout came with the usual issues, feeling less like a heartfelt tribute to a beloved artist and more like another commercial cash grab.
The fans deserve to have the music, and at the same time, the artist's name deserves to be respected at this point, because again, like, as soon as, like, there's all kinds of these crazy marketing stunts and all these, you know, sort of marketing rollouts that come into a posthumous album, it's like, okay, what are you guys really doing here? You know, like, obviously, you know, we know records have to sell, but put the music out for the fans if that's what you guys really want to do, and see how it sticks. And at the end of the day, like, you guys are still eating regardless of what the amount is, so it's a win for the fans, it's a win for the artist, because you're not disrespecting his name by putting out, you know, half-assed material out there, and, you know, also you guys get to get your cut out of it and really get to, you know, benefit from it. But when you start, like, you know, teasing the album for months at a time and treating it like it's a regular rollout and doing all these crazy promotions, and
it's too much, man.
Dropped in December of 2021, it was initially expected that the long-awaited follow-up, The Party Never Ends, would emerge soon after. After all, Bibby had teased it before Fighting Demons ever dropped. And this time, his manager proclaimed that it was going to be a different experience than what fans were likely anticipating in the same Forbes interview. The artwork was helmed by Takashi Murakami, the legendary—
I ain't gonna lie, no, I like the artwork. I think that's something he would have did, to be honest with you. I think he would have did that. Yeah, I don't got a problem with the artwork. Yeah, shit, chillin'.
Japanese designer behind Ye albums like Kids See Ghosts and Graduation, among others. But this was almost unanimously declared to not be it.
The cover got announced about a week before the release, and honestly, it was met with a lot of negative reactions. People
I liked it, bro. I ain't gonna lie.
Which, looking at it, is a fair critique. Then there's the six-pack abs on the cartoon version of Juice, which a lot of people thought looked unrealistic and unnecessary. Overall, this cover was, let's just say, not it.
Besides the fact that the artwork just wasn't great, it was also problematic when you consider how Juice passed on.
So frankly, I feel like it's kind of, again, disrespectful, reductive, and out of fucking touch to drop a record in.
No, it's definitely something he would have put. Yeah, I could literally imagine it. He would have did that. And if you know the music, if you look at the vlogs or the videos, the documentary, you would know.
In a Rolling Stone interview prior to the album's release, he discussed where he was at with the project and pretty much blamed everything on the leaker as opposed to anyone else. I always have a list of my favorite Juice songs, but the fans always leak my favorite ones. So it's been tough putting it together because I always gotta go back in and find new good songs, as somehow it's new leaks every single day. Then he went directly at the fans, saying, I have a love-hate thing with them. I like that they're excited about him and that they want to hear about the leaks. It's crazy to see that 5 years later, they still love him this much, but it's hurting the albums, the money, and everything. At this point, I don't really look at it for the money.
That's a real, I ain't gonna lie, he being real game. Like, you want him to drop quality, but you can't even give him the time or the space to breathe. You feel me? Like he ain't not even doing it for the love of it no more. He just doing it so y'all could just shut up, man. That's real. Shut up. Be like me.
The disconnect between the fans and Grade A has continued to widen. And while Bibby feels like he wasn't doing an adequate job for them to ease up, the fans are more than willing to list his failings. One fan on Reddit, summing up the frustration and racking up 400 likes, put it bluntly. Fans just want what Juice wanted to drop to be out. Clearly, you're not doing that often. So you're telling me Juice was getting Polo and Trippy on Feline because he didn't like Yachty anymore? Or that he wanted to drop Blood on My Jeans solo when he left it open for Gunna? Plus, why drop a 2-song EP Juice made himself and already dropped on all DSPs when he was alive on Fighting Demons? Half the stuff they do just doesn't make sense, and or is obviously not something Juice himself would have done. Or rest in peace to Juice WRLD, a true one of a kind whose legacy deserves to be protected at all costs. But Grade A aren't the only ones who are ruining this man's reputation. And if you guys want to check out what Ali Lottie is doing to his name, you can click the video on the screen. As always, I want to thank y'all for watching today's video, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.
ain't gonna lie. On a real note though, don't even know to do no more album. They just get the whole catalog. Whether go platinum, go platinum. Whoever don't go platinum, don't go platinum. And they just let it be. We don't need no more Fortnite events. We don't need no more like I don't know. It's that. Just drop the music in. So I could listen to some shit again. I gotta listen to Monsters in My Basement, bro. I need the full thing to release. Yeah, they done AI that bitch. The fuck you gonna AI? Anyway, shit, my thoughts on it. It's a good video. Fuck with y'all boys, man. Appreciate it. Love y'all, man. See y'all in the next video.